Good morning. Oh, good
Good
Lord. Good morning.
morning. Good
It
morning.
wasn't like this when I started. How are you?
All right, yourself?
I'm here. I'm
Uh,
here. I feel like Celie. I'm here. I'm
I'm
here. How are you? How was your week?
good. It was weekend.
Oh, the week was weekend. Oh, I love the little banner. You know that's my favorite. The little wooden banner. That's my
Yeah,
favorite.
thank you. How was
Uh,
yours?
the same. It felt like we had a snowstorm, so one
Oh,
day everything shut down. So I feel like I'm missing a day. I feel and didn't take the rest that I needed for the day at all. Oh, but we haven't even did you have a good Thanksgiving? We haven't even seen each other since the
yes, I
holiday. Did you have a
did.
good Thanksgiving? Good for you. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm
I don't want to see another rib.
glad. And I'm sure they don't want to see you either.
No,
See you coming. All right, then. All right. Did you end up cooking or you went out?
I technically I had it catered. I went out, and
Okay.
I let the Amish do the cooking.
All right, Amish folks. All right. Did you go to the market?
Yes,
Yes. I miss that market. I told you that's one of my favorite places when I come. Come there. That's what's
my
up.
my bag was so packed. I was on my way out the door, and it busted.
Sir.
But luckily, nothing spilled out.
Okay.
But it was loaded.
Oh my goodness. Oh God. Well, that's good. I'm glad you
How
had a
was
good time.
yours?
It was fun. They made me cook. I told you the swindling of bringing in a turkey. Like, I got this turkey from work. Would you cook it? Really? So I did. I didn't make a whole lot of stuff though, just some little traditional stuff. My husband got his. Let me put it on the record because if I ever play this again, my husband got his macaroni and cheese that he lied about, talking about he ain't had it in years. Sir, first of all, the macaroni and cheese I make is not healthy. Most of them are not healthy for anybody, and you don't need that regularly. But you go to parties, you go to funerals, it's the same stuff. And the way y'all been going to funerals and parties, you getting this way too often. Let's start there. So I really only make it maybe twice a year because it's a lot. Um, but he told that lie. Oh, what did he tell me? One day he came in with somebody's macaroni and cheese, like, oh, it almost tastes like yours, but I ain't had yours in so long. I don't really remember. Really, sir? Okay. Let me fix you. But no, he got his macaroni and cheese, so he was excited. Um, and Tiffany got her turkey, so she was excited. And my mama got her cranberry, so everybody was happy.
Good.
Everybody was happy. I had me some little green beans on the side. I was out in my little dressing. I was all good, so it worked out, and it was fun. Then I drove up to Akron, but then I was nervous because it snowed in Cleveland. But Akron only got a little snow, and then it went away the next day. So I was like, yes. I went to a little line dance function up there where I had an absolute ball. Um,
Good.
Learning some dances. It was a little workshop. I said, well, let me slide in and see what I could learn, and then learn some stuff. It was great. Other than that, it was good. But then I came back home, and then we got a whole big 5 inches of snow, which shut everything down, and uh, I ain't recouped yet. I'm getting there though. It's almost the end of
Good.
the semester. Praise. I just want to get up and shout. You just don't even know how my spirit feels. This week is the week, and I'm out. I'm out.
Good.
So I'm excited about
A
that. Even
well
though I
deserved
got
break.
mass work, I still got work to do because I told you we changed over to a new LMS system, and I have new classes that need to be converted. So I got that kind of work to do, but I don't have student work. So Jesus, on the main line, tell him what you want. All right, let's get started. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday morning tea. And here we brew up the hottest topics in healthcare. We discuss health information, news, education, the weeks, the holidays, mac and cheese, all of
Yes.
it, and ribs for you carnivores out there. Certification tips, entrepreneurship, and anything connected or related to the revenue cycle at large. And as you come in, don't forget to hit the thumbs up or like button. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, the founder and I do have pearls. You probably can't see them, but they on there. I got a hoodie on. The founder and senior education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network (LLC), where coding education is key. PRN is a healthcare compliance consultancy located in Cincinnati, Ohio, that specializes in revenue cycle and regulatory compliance and education. And let me ask, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Do you? Do you really? Well, before I introduce my co-host, let me share with you information on a free email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start and scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder. What is that thing they do?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, I'm sorry. If you are interested in getting more information about the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, check the video description for the link. Well, joining me today is my partner in success, my co-host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark. Put some respect on his name, the coding nurse. Sir, introduce yourself and tell the folks all about you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jesse. I live in Philadelphia. I've been in healthcare for a very long time. And in 2014, I left the bedside and I started in risk adjustment. And in 2020, I created a company, the Coding Nurse LLC, where I help nurses and other people in healthcare with a clinical background transition into the wonderful world of HIM.
Mm-hmm. And how's that going?
It is coming along.
Yes, yes.
I just finished with a student Tuesday.
Okay.
What's it?
They ready?
Yeah, Tuesday.
They still got others? No. Like they still got other steps, or okay. He was like, the shade. No kidding.
No, it's how
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
People don't realize it's a lot. Like, even if you master one part, you still got other parts. And while you set the foundation initially on how to get to the correct code, there's still other nuances that are part of the next section. And so, yeah, it's constant learning. And as we tell folks all the time, this right here is lifelong learning all day.
It really is. And the thing that people aren't really prepared for is they think that the hardest part is getting certified, but that's not it. Like,
that's step 1 or step 2. Step 1 is getting the education and training to get there. That's step 2.
But what really will help you and sustain you is mastery of the guidelines, because what they don't understand is once you get a job, like, you have to be able to recall this stuff instantly to get those claims and cases done. Like, you don't have time.
Production that they done living on the folks.
Yeah, everything is production. Like, you can't be dilly that. You can't take you 45 minutes.
Like, oh, let me read this story about
exactly. No,
none of that. All right, well, before we jump in, let me remind you that you can join in and add to the conversation. So don't be shy. Your opinion matters and is welcomed here. So use the chat, friends. That's what it's here for. Use it. Talk. Let's talk on it. Speak on it. Tell us all about it. If you have a question, please type Q first so we know it is a question and we don't miss it. It's funny though, because I'll go back and look at the comments after our broadcast, and be like, okay, we could have answered that, we could have answered that, we could have answered that, but I get it. So folks may be doing other things on the Saturday morning.
Right.
All right, all right. Well, for those who are joining us or watching the replay, today we are talking NM downcoding, the coder's guide to revenue protection. But first, let's get into our church announcement, shall we? Okay, I got this new thing. Let's see what it's supposed to do, what it looks like now. And then you got this. Oh, wait, I can't see that. It's not showing. No, wrong thing. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, anyway. Look, I done got caught up. StreamYard has something new every time. Hey. Hey. All right. So what I was looking at, they have this little thing that's supposed to have a timer so that the church announcement scroll will immediately go away. But it's not showing me the time. It's showing me, it's saying it's off. It's not giving me, so maybe I got to go in and fix something. But I was really excited because now, well, then I wouldn't have to go to another button to go find the other button to turn it off. All right. So my church announcement that, of course, came out during the holidays and we didn't have a show to talk about is the changing of the guard over at AHIMA. So, lo and behold, we have a new CEO. His name is David Zeller. I think I'm saying his name right. And I swear you called it. Sir, I'm not even a gambling person. I promise you, I don't gamble at all because I need immediate return on my money. I do. Well, I don't call my stocks and stuff gambling because I'm not like flipping and flopping. I don't do all of that. But you like 10 for 10. I should be bet on Jesse. That's what I feel like. Just bet on Jesse because when he says it normally comes to pass. So Dave, as he likes to be called, it say Dave in quotes on his little press announcement, was most recently serving as the president of HC Pro.
You don't say.
And I said bet on Jesse because I swear to God, did you not call it? Mm-hmm. Which is a for-profit subsidiary of AHIMA. AHIMA acquired HC Pro. Allegedly. No, I'm kidding. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes in these acquisitions, who's zooming who? But I went way back with that, didn't I?
Yes.
But so now he is taking on this newly expanded leadership role, driving innovation and growth across the enterprise. And so he, quote, he's quoted as saying, "I'm honored to lead AHIMA during this important time in our organization's journey," end quote. I don't know already, my phone, my email, everything has already been buzzing about we can't find nobody with credentials to do anything. And so someone asked the other question. So it's one thing to run an association. It's something else to run a profession. And I said, okay, I'm pondering upon that. Like, okay, but if we go back where we had the conversation about um, our association that is supposedly for the members of a profession, when you lean that way, lean that way. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting time. But what was even more, what so all of this, I was once people had said it and you said it as well. I oh wait, so why they even put a little blurb about HC Pro in his thing too to tell you because HC Pro been passed around several times. A lot of folk it's been shopped and moved and because there's some things. But anyway, it says it's a division of Simplify Compliance LLC.
Wait a minute. HC Pros for the streets?
I'm reading. I'm about to spit out my tea. Wait, okay. So it says for over 34 years, HC Pro, a division of Simplified Compliance LLC, has specialized in providing the latest healthcare regulatory information through industry-leading publications, continuing education, online coding platforms, instructor-led training, events, consultant services, and more to deliver consistent training, achieve compliance, and maximize workflow efficiencies, resulting in measurable performance and financial improvements.
Okay.
All that said, I'm still concerned and I'm still waiting to hear this gray fine line about the two organizations that are bumping up against each other as a result of this acquisition. Nobody really wants to talk about that, but okay. So the other thing that tickled me as it related to this particular information was they acknowledged their interim CEOs for her service and her contributions. And she was the interim CEO. Chris was the interim CEO for the last 11 months, and she provided leadership, stability, and continuity during a transition. Sorry, I was trying to have it straight. During a transitional period for our organization. But they want to wish her all the best in her future endeavors and appreciate the positive impact she has made on the AHIMA enterprise. Okay. I feel like I need another kind of music playing in the background. But anyway, those were my church announcements. Mr. Jesse, I saw your church announcement. I know you got something.
Yes. I have a start date for the first ICD-10-CM class of 2026. It is Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
If you would like to learn more, kindly mosey on over to thecodingnurse.com.
Mosey. Don't meet him there. Beat him there. Yes.
That's right.
That's what's up. Okay. Well, since they didn't give me my little stuff that I wanted to do.
Now, Tanika's comment is spot on.
Wait a minute, I'm coming. I see some comments and things. I told you I got this extra banner thing I got to hit now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now we good. All right, let's check out. All right. Oh Lord, the money about to do acrobatics into so many other unrelated projects that has nothing to do with the HIM professionals. So, yeah. But remember, yeah. So HC Pro is designed and developed. They're into a lot of healthcare spaces, not just AHIMA or not just health information, not even, CDI realm. They're in a whole bunch of other stuff, as I've learned, because of their platform, because they provide the education and training and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's going to be interesting how all of that merge and I mean, I'm assuming that they will continue to carry out that work even under this umbrella because they're revenue generating. Education brings the dollars, brings all the boys to the yard.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. All right. So that was our church announcements. Lord, well, let's get into what we let's the tea spilling begin. All right. So welcome, welcome back to the Saturday morning tea, where we serve up the real talk our profession needs. Ooh, I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, with my partner in success, the coding nurse. And hopefully you have your hot brew. I know I do. Because we are in for quite the conversation today. Today's topic's one of my babies, E&M coding, evaluation and management. But we're talking E&M downcoding, Coder's Guide to Revenue Protection. Whew. Yeah. So again, I'm glad you're here, and I hope you have your cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is that you put in your mug in the morning. I don't judge. It's none of my business. but I hope you're ready to talk about something that is quietly draining revenue for medical practices all across the country. All right. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? Your coding is perfect, your documentation meets CPT guidelines, but somehow the money is moneying. It's just not adding up. The coins just are not coining. Something is up. Well, you're not alone and you're not crazy. Today, we're talking about payer E&M downcoding. We mentioned this before. I think we mentioned it in a church announcement, but that was a public admission of it's some private, sneaky behind the scenes things going on as well. So we're going to talk about the payer E&M downcoding, and I'm going to show you exactly what's happening, how to spot it, and what you can do about it starting Monday morning. Mr. Jesse is going to be right here giving all of the insight and all of the spice to the conversation in word or facials. So this is one of those situations where, again, it could all be so simple. So the American Medical Association, or AMA, updated the E&M guidelines in 2021 to reduce the provider's alleged documentation burden. We were supposed to spend less time on paperwork, and they could spend more time with the patients. But the payers, it's like, not so fast. Y'all play them games if y'all want to. We're not buying it. We're not here for it. And they haven't been for a long time. And folks are seeing the brunt of it right now. So let's expose this downcoding game together. So by the end of this episode, you're going to have some actionable strategies that you can implement immediately. So are you ready? Let's go. Let's start with the basics. We got to always start at the beginning. So what exactly is payer E&M downcoding? Simply put, downcoding happens when an insurance company changes your claim to a lower cost service than what you submitted. So say your provider billed a 99215. Of course, that's a high complexity medical decision making appropriate for that patient encounter. And the payer says, nah, we're not going for that. We paying you a 99213, a low complexity, lower payment. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and not necessarily in a good way. Most payers are doing this automatically using software algorithms. They're not requesting your medical records. They don't care what you document. They're not reviewing the actual clinical documentation. They're just running your claims through a program that looks at things like diagnosis codes and patient age and says, well, based on our algorithm, this doesn't warrant a high level code. Who's doing the coding here?
Right.
So let me give you a real example from the AMA resource guide that I'm referencing today, and it should be in your description. A 65 or 64-year-old patient comes in with pain and burning sensation in her extremities. She's been managed for type 2 diabetes. The physician performs a relevant exam, orders TSH, B12, BMP, and A1C tests. Diabetic peripheral neuropathy is leading the differential diagnosis, so the physician refers her to neurology while continuing to manage the ongoing chronic condition. The physician correctly codes this as a 99214, a moderate complexity medical decision making. But the payer automatically reduces it to a 99213 and pays it at the lower rate. And why, you ask? Solely because the diagnosis is diabetes. The payer's algorithm sees diabetes and assumes it's a routine chronic disease management visit. Never mind that this patient has a new problem, requires multiple diagnostic tests, needs specialist referral, and has moderate complexity decision making happening. The algorithm doesn't care about any of that. And here's the part that makes me want to just clutch my pearls even tighter. Some payers are downcoding without even changing your build code. They just adjust the payment. So they'll keep your code, keep the code there, and flip the dollars, playing with the church's money on the back end. So when you're doing your coding audits, everything looks perfect on paper. That 99214 is still sitting there, but you got paid for 99213. This is what is called the invisible revenue leak. And it's costing practices thousands, sometimes tens of thousands every single month. Now, it could all be so simple. The AMA is very clear in their policy. Downcoding without medical record review is inappropriate. Physicians should have the opportunity to provide documentation before payment is reduced, not after. But that's not happening in the real world. And has it ever happened in the real world? So, what do we do about it? What is the solution? Well, we can't control what the payers do, but we can control how we respond. And that's what the rest of this episode is going to be about. So, how do you know if your claims are being downcoded? Because if they're doing it without changing the code, you might not even realize that it's actually happening. Well, this is where we need to get vigilant about reviewing remittance advice. Y'all know what those are, right? The remittance advice I know is about as exciting as watching paint dry, but this is where the money is literally. There are specific remark codes that signal downcoding is happening. Let me give you the big ones to watch for. CO150, pair deems the information submitted does not support this level of service. M85, subjected to review of physician evaluation and management services. N6010, alert, payment based on appropriate level of care. And that's, well, that one right there, they didn't already said the payment, they're just telling you the payment that we're going to give you is based on what we think is the appropriate level of care. And then CARC 186, level of care change adjustment. So if you see any of these codes on your remittance advice, that's your red flag. That claim has been downcoded. Now, here's your action item for the week. I want you to go into your practice management system or EHR and see if you can run a report for any of these remark codes. Many systems will let you filter by denial or adjustment codes. And if not you, pass this information on to the denials management team or your compliance team or someone who would have the time and energy to be able to fight this battle for you. Your vendor should be able to help you set this up if you're not sure how. And here's the second thing you need to do. Start comparing expected payments to actual payments. I know, this is work. And this is probably better served for those smaller practices where you have a couple of people doing all of the things. In the larger organizations, you have a team of folks, and this can still happen, and I'm sure they're still seeing this leak as well. But you may not have you may not be the one that have the enough room on your plate to handle this. So you may need to shift this off to somebody else. But anyway, I know all of this sounds tedious, but it could all be so simple if you set up a basic spreadsheet. You know how those of us in health information love a good old Excel spreadsheet. So take your top 5 payers by volume, and for each one, find out what they pay for your higher level E&M codes like 99204, 99205, 99214, and 99215. Again, these are your high level codes that are most likely to get down coded. Then once a month, run a report of all those codes and compare what you expected to get paid versus what you actually received. Calculate your variance percentage. If you're seeing a 10%, 15%, or even 20% variance on certain codes with certain payers, you got a downcoding problem. So listen, pay special attention to claims with modifier 25. They're going to hit you every time. Those complex claims where you're doing a procedure and an E&M service on the same day, payers love to downcode those. They'll say the E&M wasn't separately identifiable or wasn't significant enough. Remember, it's a 2-part piece playing there. So flag those for extra scrutiny. Mr. Jesse.
I I was still hovering around that algorithm because what that sounds like to me. Well, first of all, it's some foolishness, but what it really sounds like to me is this is why they need to have HIM professionals, in particular coders, involved in the development of these algorithms, because if you most people they don't know that there's a difference between E11.9 and E11.42. They think it's just numbers, but it's not.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. And then, like to your point, whoever is creating or putting the information into these algorithms, what knowledge base do they necessarily have to differentiate between those codes? And one could possibly be the one that they're thinking should be down coded, but they got all of them in there and not all of them fit that mold. And so you're down coding stuff that, no ma'am, no sir. So let's talk about the best defense against downcoding. We talk about this all the time. I swear we talk about it every time we get together. Documentation. Rock solid documentation in this case. Because even though I'm frustrated that these payers are using these algorithms instead of reviewing records, the reality is that when you do appeal, and of course you should, your documentation is going to be your best weapon. And if your weapon isn't sharp, oh, okay. So the 2021 E&M guidelines say that for office visits, your level of service is determined by either medical decision-making or the total time spent on the date of the encounter. We all know history and physical exam are no longer key components in leveling the evaluation and management service. Still key component in documentation, but just not in leveling the service. Don't get that twisted. So let's focus on the medical decision-making because that's where most physicians are using. Medical decision-making has 3 elements, and you need to meet the criteria for 2 out of the 3. Element 1 is number and complexity of problems addressed. Element 2, amount and or complexity of data to be reviewed and analyzed. Element 3, risk of complications, morbidity, and or mortality of patient management. Now, this could all be so simple, right? Just document 2 out of the 3. But here's my recommendation, and this comes from years of doing audits and fighting payer denials. Just document all three. Don't play that three-card Monty shuffle foolishness. Just document it all. Because if they don't feel like one of the two that you have is strong, it's going to kick back. But if you got all three, then you know you already prepared yourself. You're being proactive. And we love to be proactive, right? So
Right.
again, even though you only need two to justify your code level, if you document all three, you got insurance. If the payer challenges one element, you still got two solid ones to fall back on. So let me break that down and kind of talk through what each element could look like for established patient level 4 or 5. So that's 99214, 99215, because these are the codes getting down coded most often. So for a number and complexity of problems, a 99214, which is a moderate complexity, needs one or more chronic illnesses with exacerbation, progression, or side effects of treatment. Or you can have two or more stable chronic illnesses. Or you can have one undiagnosed new problem with uncertain prognosis, or one acute illness with systemic systems, or one acute complicated injury. So you got some choices. You got options. You got options. Oh, all right. With a 99215 high complexity. Okay. And those options need to be based on that patient as they present to you that day for that encounter. Let's keep that first top of mind. Okay. 99215 high complexity needs one or more chronic illnesses with severe exacerbation, progression, or side effects of treatment, or one acute or chronic illness or injury that poses a threat to life or bodily function. So here's what CMS recommends you document: an assessment, clinical impression, or diagnosis for each encounter. We know that. That's a gimme. The initiation of or changes in treatment, any diagnostic tests performed, any worsening problems. And again, all of this needs to be specified in your documentation. Any referrals made or consultations requested. And here's the key document: your medical decision-making process, not just your decision. Show your clinical reasoning. For amount and complexity of data, for 99214, again, that's the moderate one, you need to meet requirements of at least one out of three different categories. Category 1 is any combination of three from the following: review of prior external notes, review of test results, ordering of tests, or assessments requiring an independent historian. Category 2, independent interpretation of a test performed by another physician. Category 3, discussion of management or test interpretation with external physician or qualified healthcare professional. For your high medical decision making or 99215, you need to meet at least two out of those three categories. So again, document everything. If you reviewed old records, say so. If you discuss contradictory test results with the ordering physician, document it. If you independently interpreted an x-ray, note it. Make it crystal clear. Be explicit. For risk of complications, this one is a little more subjective, but there are clear examples in the guidelines. Moderate risk includes things like prescription drug management, decisions about minor surgery with patient risk factors, elective major surgery without risk factors, or diagnosis or treatment significantly limited by social determinants of health. Your high risk includes drug therapy requiring intensive monitoring for toxicity, elective major surgery with risk factors, emergency major surgery, and decisions about hospitalization or decisions not to resuscitate or to de-escalate care. So document the comorbidities and underlying diseases that increase the complexity. If you're prescribing medications that require monitoring, say that explicitly. If you're considering hospitalization and discussing it with the patient, document that conversation. Now, you can also code based on time instead of medical decision making. And honestly, so, time-based coding could be your secret weapon against downcoding algorithms because it's objective and measurable. But y'all not gonna do right. We talked about this. Y'all done booked on top of book on top of
Yeah, I
book.
don't think they
Y'all done
should do
ran
that.
over. Y'all done did all kinds of things. So why it's cleaner in most cases, in the reality of a medical practice, is it really? Don't set yourself up for the okie doke. If you know your stuff ain't as clean as it could be, don't play over here in this world. Now, but if your stuff is good,
Now, just like
maybe you could.
just like these algorithms don't don't have to evaluate the record to down code. If these providers started documenting based on time, they will subpoena every schedule there was.
Every schedule that you have. So again, if your stuff is not clean, that's low lying fruit. Don't play over here in the time. But I know it's easier. It's objective. It's all of the things. It could be so simple if you were doing the right thing. And well, I'm gonna say if you were doing the right thing, if you were doing things the right way.
Right.
That way. But if you're not, and you got systems in place where, we're gonna book this 30-minute time with 2 patients, but we're gonna tell on our documentation that we spent 28 minutes with each of them. That math don't math. Don't play over here. Don't play over here.
That's easy.
But again, going through the time-based coding and all of those things, of course, that's a whole other episode. But today, just know that if you are using time and using it correctly in all areas, not just in your documentation, but in your scheduling and in all of the other documents that could be used to justify, you need to document the total time spent on the date of the encounter, including your pre and post service work. And that threshold for a level 5 is 40 to 54 minutes. Okay. So now that we've talked about what downcoding is, how to spot it, and how to document to prevent it, let's talk about the bigger picture, because this isn't just a coding issue. This is a practice management issue, actually, and a revenue cycle issue. And honestly, it's a shift in how we think about our roles. So I've identified 3 major pivots that medical coders, auditors, and compliance professionals need to make right now. And I'm going to give you some actionable steps for each one of them. And these are some things that you can start on Monday. So again, going from co-auditor to payment validator. So this is a big one. It's not enough anymore to just make sure the right code was selected. You need to verify that again, this is probably more suited for those practices where you have a few folks doing all of the things versus a huge organizations where you have teams doing their own individual things. But there's still gems in here, so stay tuned. You need to verify that the right payments was received for that code. And so here are your 3 action steps. Action 1, create a payment validation dashboard. This can be as simple as, again, an Excel spreadsheet. Should get some stock. Track expected payment versus actual payment for all 99204, 05, 14, and 15 codes by the pair. We talked about that. Calculate your variance percentage monthly and start with your top 5 pairs by volume. Then expand to all contracted pairs within 60 days once you've got the workflow down. That way you can monitor all the coins and making sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get. And if not, you know who to then tap on the shoulder. Action 2, learn your pairs' fee schedules. Request and maintain current fee schedules from all contracted pairs because they do change regularly. And you should know what it is that they're going to pay you. Okay. Input these into your practice management system or create a quick reference guide. and update these quarterly. I know this sounds basic, but I'm shocked by how many coding teams, people in the revenue cycle, don't have easy access to this information. Those who need to know this information. Implement a remark code alert system. Configure your billing system to flag or report all claims containing remark codes. Again, this is in a bigger organization. This is probably suited for your downstream revenue integrity denials management folks. In a small office, you doing all of this. So remember those remark codes: CO150, M85, N610, or CARC 186. And review these weekly, not monthly, weekly, and establish an appeals workflow where these flag claims get addressed within 3 days of identification. You don't want to have them get the money just on a technicality that you didn't appeal in the appropriate amount of time. Pivot 2, from passive coder to active documentation champion. I know this feels like scope creep, and you're thinking, Clarice, I'm just the coder, not a physician educator. But here's the reality. If physicians don't document defensively, you're fighting an uphill battle. And it could all be so simple if we just help them understand what's at stake. Whoever, anybody that they would listen to. It could be you, it could be the next person, it could be whoever they're gonna pay attention to and listen to. Let them speak. Tell them.
Before the claim leaves the office.
Yes, before the claim leaves the office. Get your money. Don't wait to see if we gonna get the money. Get it up front. We got to make sure they understand what's happening. And historically, and it has been in my experience, most of the providers are always, they're out to get us. It's just rules, it's just the laws and all of the things. Well, it is what it is. You got into this business. You got to know what you're playing with. You got to know the game, know how to know the rules, and know how to play the game to be successful.
But my stance for years, like the way that these doctors have a problem with the insurance companies, like you got to get to the root cause. Like the person who you bought your practice from is a reason why. They had to step in, because like physicians in the 90s, they were robbing Medicare and these insurance companies, as officials would say, deaf, dumb, and blind. I mean, and they seem to want to overlook that. Like, no, this is a direct response to all the foolishness that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many doctors back in the day had yachts and vacation homes and all that?
Working 4 hours a day. And
exactly.
Like, let me slide in for a minute and slide out. Those were the good old days. And unfortunately,
useless tests and all kinds of stuff, like kickbacks, all of this is
a result of absolutely all of the things that were happening in those quote unquote good old days where America was great.
and they seem to want to overlook that. Now, I'm not saying that. Now I think the company, the payers have gone to the other end. I think they just need to swing back a little and just stay in the middle.
Yeah. Be fair.
Right.
Target, get enough information and data for those that you need to target, and then go after them. But be fair. Be fair. So, action step 1, develop provider-specific medical decision-making templates. Create quick reference cards or EHR templates showing the 2 out of the 3 medical decision-making elements with specialty-specific examples. Make these visual and easy to use. I meant to go grab them. They're over there. Now, this was when we had all of the things for medical for leveling an E&M service. But I used to make these physician pocket cards, and I would have each one of the codes and all of the information that they had. And if they were in a specialty, so cardiology would have specific cardiology examples. Nephrology would have specific examples for them. Peds would have, and it was like candy, and they would call, could you make us one? Could you make us one? Could you make us one? Absolutely. It was a project. This one when I was in my crafty coding days. So putting these things together for the folks. But yeah, that's something that you can have. So for primary care, you might have like a 99214 and just tell them document the 2 or more stable chronic illnesses, or 1 with exacerbation, 2 ordering or reviewing 3 unique tests, and 3 prescription drug management. So something concise and simple that they can follow, again, based on the presentation of that patient at that encounter. Don't just be, pulling stuff out that, just document the stuff if your patient doesn't match it. Make sure your patient matches. Action 2, conduct monthly documentation huddles. Schedule 15-minute lunch and learns, or that early morning huddle that sometimes y'all have with providers reviewing actual down-coded claims, de-identified, of course. Show them what was missing in the documentation and what could have prevented the down code. So educate them with their documentation. Show them, even if you got to call some of the folks out because you may have all of the providers there as a group. Sam over there is not holding up his end of the bargain. Just look at his documentation. Don't be a Sam. But Jane over here, she doing it. She killing it. Be a Jane.
That's right. And leave her alone.
And leave her alone. We don't even talk to her. We just like, hey, Jane, what you got? What's going on? How you feeling? So make it interactive and collaborative, not punitive. You can make it fun though. Make it worth their time. You know what your providers like. Give them what they like so that they'll listen. So they won't feel like, oh my God, here we go, da da da. But again, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to keep the coins here in this practice so this practice can still be here so we can all be here, right? Okay. Action step number 3, create a downcoding survival checklist. So design like a 1-page checklist for providers to use before closing a chart. Include the clinical impression, diagnosis stated, treatment changes documented, test ordered or reviewed listed, reviews factors noted, time documented if used for leveling. Create both a laminated physical version for workstations or a digital version as an EHR quick reference tab or printable PDF, something that they can clearly see that they done checked off all of the things so that their documentation is complete and rock solid for that level of service that they are thinking that it should be. Even your coders could use that to make sure as a kind of a checklist, or auditors as a checklist to make sure that those things are there. And if you don't see something, hey, sir, ma'am, maybe not push it out in hopes of we gonna get some coins. Just hold on to it and make sure it's clean going out the door. Who would have thought? So from pivot 3 is from reactive appeals to proactive prevention. So this is about building systematic processes to prevent downcoding before claims are even submitted. See, that's what we're talking about. Action 1, implement pre-bill scrubbing for high-level E&M codes. Establish a policy that all your high-level E&M codes undergo a quick documentation check before claim submission. Create a 30-second checklist. Does documentation show 2 of 3 medical decision-making elements clearly? Or 3 of the 3. Again, be safe, not sorry. And if not, query the provider before billing. And yes, this adds a step, but it's faster than fighting appeals and less costly. Action 2, build a payer downcoding intelligence database. Track which payers are downcoding which services. Create a log with the payer name, date, original code, downcoded to, diagnosis, reason given, appeal outcome, and then analyze this quarterly for patterns. Show findings with providers. XYZ Insurance is downcoding 85% of our 99215s with diabetes diagnosis. Everybody gonna look and be like, who, what, where? We need to talk. What we got to do? And see, this is how we need to do things a little differently. And this is going to get some attention. Action 3, develop a payer-specific documentation protocol. If certain payers are consistently downcoding specific scenarios like diabetes visits or COPD management, create enhanced documentation requirements for those payer diagnosis combinations. For example, for Blue Cross diabetes E&M, ensured documentation includes the specific A1C result, the medication adjustments with rationale, discussion of the complications screening, and time spent if applicable. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with some questions to think about. And these aren't answers I'm going to answer for you. These are questions you need to take back to your teams, your leadership, your revenue cycle committee. Question 1. Are you currently reviewing remittance advice for downcoding remark codes? Or are you only focusing on denials? What percentage of your claims might be getting downcoded without your knowledge? Question 2. When you conduct E&M documentation audits, are you evaluating whether the documentation would survive a payer downcoding review? Or are you simply checking if it meets the minimum CPT guidelines? What's the difference in your practice? And question 3. If you discover systemic downcoding of your high-level E&M codes by a major payer, at what point does this become a contract compliance issue versus just a coding issue? And how would you quantify the financial impact to present to leadership? Question 4. The AMA says physicians should have the opportunity to provide documentation before payment is reduced, not after. How can we advocate for this with our payer partners? What leverage do we have? And here's the big strategic question. If payers are using diagnosis codes as a proxy for E&M level appropriateness, automatically downcoding all diabetes visits, for example, how should this change our approach to secondary diagnosis documentation and medical necessity narratives? These are the conversations we need to be having. It could all be so simple if payers would just follow AMA guidance and review records before downcoding. But since they're not, and they're relying on their algorithms, we need to be strategic, proactive, and smart about how we respond. Mr. Jesse?
I think that what the insurance companies are doing should be illegal. I mean, it is, they are well within their rights to question anything, but they should let people know why what they're doing and why. Like, you have to give somebody a reason why you're not paying them what they have requested. Like, you have to do that. Like, and not telling somebody and just sneaking these random codes in a remittance device is not the look.
Well, and even sneaking and keeping the code that you bill
Right.
on the counter, but just changing the money on the back end. That's some shady.
Right.
All right, so let's recap the key takeaways for today. Payer E&M downcoding is real. It's happening through automated algorithms, and it's costing you money. You can spot downcoding by watching for specific remark codes. Remember CO150, M85, N610, and CARC 186, and by comparing expected payments to actual payments. Your best defense is documentation that clearly demonstrates 2 out of 3 medical decision-making elements. Again, with my recommendation being to document all 3 for extra protection. 4, you need to make 3 pivots from code auditor to payment validator, from passive coder to documentation champion, and from reactive appeals to proactive prevention. And 5, there are specific actionable steps you can start taking on Monday morning to protect your revenue. Now, I know this may feel overwhelming. We are in the holiday season and folks' minds are elsewhere. And there's a lot here. But remember, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just start with one thing. Pick one action step from one pivot and implement it this week. And then just add another and build momentum. And then look, you got your New Year's resolution right there. Keep the money in-house. Let's find ways to do that. Again, the AMA has created an excellent resource guide on E&M downcoding, and I've linked it in the description box below. They've also have sample appeal letters that you can use right away if you've already got downcoded claims sitting in your queue. So listen, we didn't get into healthcare revenue cycle management because it was easy. Now, did we? We got into it because we're detail oriented and we like solving puzzles, and we believe in protecting the financial health of our practices so that they can keep serving patients. So this downcoding issue is just another puzzle to solve, and we've got the tools to do it. Okay. So pour yourself another cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is that's in that mug. Download those resources and let's get to work. All right. So I am Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, reminding you that we're stronger together in this coding community. Keep coding, keep fighting. And remember, it can all be so simple if we just work together. And Professional Reimbursement Network is here to support you in every way. Let's see. Am I going to do what I'm supposed to do? Am I doing it right this time? I think so. Yay. Okay. Join our community at Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC. We provide ongoing education, compliance updates, and practical strategies for navigating this complex environment of healthcare revenue cycle. Again, you don't have to figure this out alone. So if you're thirsty for fresh perspectives on the healthcare revenue cycle, by becoming one of the PRNT sippers, you join a community of sharp minds who savor the complexities of the healthcare revenue cycle. Why sip alone when you can steep in knowledge together? Come, let's spill the tea on industry insights. And here's what you can expect as a valued member of the Tea Sippers: exclusive healthcare insights, gain access to in-depth articles, webinars, and resources covering the latest healthcare trends, compliance updates, and revenue cycle best practices. Early access. Be the first to receive expert insights and guides, ensuring you stay ahead in the ever-evolving healthcare industry. Personalized support. Enjoy direct access to our team of experts for guidance on medical coding, compliance issues, and revenue cycle management. We're here to answer your questions and support your professional growth. And then my personal favorite, the community connection. Join a private community of healthcare professionals where you can network, share experiences, and collaborate on finding solutions to common challenges. So by supporting us, you're not only advancing your healthcare knowledge and career, but also contributing to the success of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, a resource that empowers healthcare professionals like you to thrive in their roles, goals, and dreams. So thank you for considering becoming a member of the PRNT Sippers, and for as little as $1 a month. Of course, there are levels to this. Level. You can join the community. Check out the link in the description of the video or the QR code that's right here, right there. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to helping you excel in the world of health information and healthcare revenue cycle. Yay.
Yeah.
So for our Saturday morning tea family, thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with us. I know your time is precious, but you get the dibs fresh out the horse's mouth, right there, fresh out the press. And we don't take it lightly that you chose to spend it here with us. At the Saturday Morning Tea, we're all about building a community of savvy, informed, marketable healthcare professionals. So like, share, subscribe, and comment. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. Let's grow this community together. Mr. Jesse, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, this was an interesting topic.
I know we in the world of CPT on this one, but
Yeah, no, it is.
but it's some stuff, they plan, and you got to be able to play and be strategic. It's chess, not checkers.
They are. I mean, because a lot of the information that we discussed, I had told you when I did the medication assisted treatment audit, it was the same information.
Mm-hmm.
Same guidance, because
Mm-hmm.
you got to, and then you have some providers who are, and in their case, they were skittish about billing higher, but they were doing the work, but you just got to show it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So keep in mind, keep brewing excellence, keep asking the right questions, keep being proactive and not reactive. And remember, you got this, we got this. Also, excellence is not an accident. It's a choice we make every single day. So tune in next week as we'll be discussing another hot healthcare informational topic that you won't want to miss. I'm Clarice Warner, the girl with the pearls, reminding you to stay educated and stay elevated, and that in healthcare, knowledge isn't just power, is protection. For all my PRN tea sippers, we'll see you shortly at 10:15 in 10 minutes for the meeting after the meeting. Remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Until next time, take care. Have a good weekend.